Konnichiwa Mina. Hello everybody, welcome to part 2 of how to play the Exodus trading card game. If you have not watched part 1, I highly recommend that you do so because I talk about the different cards in the game and how to read them. So in this video, this is just going to be me talking about how to go through a turn in the Exodus trading card game. So deck construction, like I said before in the first video, you have to have a minimum of a 20 card main deck and a 20 card energy deck. You can have up to 2 copies of any card in your deck, unless the card restricts itself. And yeah, that's that, guys. You also need a life counter as well, because you start off with 10 life points, and whoever reaches the 0 first loses. You don't have to use this life counter thing. You can use a piece of paper, you can use a calculator, you can use your phone, whatever you want to use, as long as you know how to keep track of your life points. However you want to do that is up to you. So to start off is that you start off with your draw phase. During your draw phase, you draw 3 cards from each deck. So 3 cards from the main deck and 3 cards from the energy deck. So you do that every single turn, 3 and 3 every turn. So 3 from the main deck, 3 from the energy deck. Then you have your energy phase, which is you take your 3 energy from your starting hand and you can put them into piles just like this. This is called starting a pile of energy. So how you rearrange your energy, you can rearrange your energy however you want. You can do it in 3 single piles like this. You can do a 2 and a 1, or you can do a single pile like this. So however you want to do it. So once again, you could do it like this, you can do it like this, or you can do it like this, and you will see why that matters in a minute. And then you also, then the third part of that step is your creature phase. So if you have any creatures in your hand, which you will know, because we'll say it at the top of the card. Sorry guys, sorry about the glare there. Like the one thing about shiny cards, I hate how it's very, very hard to not get a glare on the camera. But anyway, it will say creature at the top. So you have the option of putting a creature on top of that pile of energy, like this. And here's a rule to that. The second you put a creature on top of a pile of energy, you cannot add energy to that pile. So you're from your hand. You're kind of locked in. Well, not kind of, you are. You're locked in there. So the second you put a creature on a pile of energy, you cannot move it around, you cannot add energy to your hand unless you have a symmetry card that allows you to do so, or an ability from a creature that allows you to do so, like a Land of the Star Formation, for example. So that's that. And then you go to your battle phase. And each creature on your board can only attack once per turn. One creature can only attack once per turn. So like unless you have an ability that allows you to do so. So for example, let's say if my opponent has a creature on their board. So the only way that you can attack your opponent's life points directly is that they have to have no creatures on their board in order to attack their life points directly. Or if they have an archive creature that has no energy attached to it, which I will get to that in a minute. So how attacking works. Let's just say if this is my creature and my opponent has this creature. So the amount of energy behind that creature, that is your defense, that is your power. So let's just say I attack with this creature for 3 and my opponent has this creature. They minus energy at the same time. So let's just say if, so my opponent's energy is worth 1. My creature is worth 3. So that means they minus energy at the same time. So they lose 1. Since my opponent's creature is worth 1, I lose 1. And they go to the energy deck, and that's that. So if my opponent or you, so if you're left with a creature with no energy on it, it is dead and it goes to the discard pile. And that's how that works. And how do you attack your opponent's life points directly? Like I said, you have to, like, your opponent has to have no creatures on the board, or they have to have an archive creature with no energy on it. Like if they have that, you get to attack your opponent's life points directly. And the difference with that is, if you attack your opponent's life points directly, the amount of energy behind it is how much life points that they will take, and you do not lose any energy if you attack your opponent's life points directly. You only lose energy when you're facing another creature, or if you're facing an archive. So when you attack directly, no energy is lost. That's that. Sorry, guys. And then you go to your end phase, which means it goes right to your opponent, and your opponent does the same thing. So how archive creatures work. Archive creatures were introduced in the Threshold of Time set. If I could find one. So here's an archive creature. So this kind of goes into like the mechanics of the game, but I could talk about it a little bit, but I want to make a whole separate video talking about mechanics, but we'll make an exception for this video. So how archive creatures work. Well, drifters, I'm sorry, not necessarily archives. Like archives is what they evolve into, but drifters and how they work. You know that it's a drifter from the top of the card. And how drifter cards work. Drifters can only be put in decks that have archives in it. So you cannot put a drifter in a shard folk deck, or a mush folk deck, or a tree folk deck. Our drifter cards can only be put in archive decks. So if you have a drifter card, like it starts at the beginning of the game. So that's how it starts. So basically how you start the game technically is that you have your main deck, you have your energy deck, and then if your opponent is playing an archive slash drifter deck, they have their drifter card out on the board as well. And then they also attach energies from their hand to their drifter, and you have to attack their drifter and things like that. So drifters cards are a little bit different because most decks you summon creatures to fight for you, but drifters slash archives, it's kind of like you as the player you're fighting. Basically is how that goes, which is really, really interesting. So yeah, guys, that's basically how to play the Exodus trading card game. Oh, and symmetry cards. I forgot a very important thing in the game. Symmetry cards. Symmetry cards look like this, and you can tell that it's a symmetry card. It will say symmetry at the top. Basically, how symmetry cards work. They can be played whenever you want. Your turn, your opponent's turn. If you just want to, like if you want to play a symmetry card, just put it down and it'll happen. You could play symmetry cards for free. There is no cost to playing symmetries. There is no cost to play creatures and drifters and archives and things like that. Like unless it states. Like some symmetry cards out there allow you to like pay an energy and stuff like that. So if you see a symmetry card that says pay an energy, you can pay an energy card from your board or in your hand. Does not matter. And usually if you have to pay an energy or take a life point, it's usually a pretty good symmetry. But most symmetries, if they don't have a cost, you can play them for free. So symmetry cards are very, very powerful if you can use them correctly. They can be played whenever you want. Your turn, your opponent's turn, they're all instant. You can play them at any time, at any phase. That's why symmetry cards are cool. Yeah, guys, that is how you play the Exodus trading card game. I don't want to make this video terribly long, but that's typically how you play. So just to review the phases a little bit, again, So you have your draw phase. You draw 3 from your main deck and 3 from your energy deck. And then step 2 is your energy phase. You put out your piles of energy, like I've shown in the beginning of this video. Then you can play a creature if you like. You don't have to, but you can. Then you attack, and you minus the energy at the same time. And if your opponent has no board or a drifter card, you can attack their opponent's life points directly. End phase, pass off to your opponent. Really, really simple. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial video about how to play the Exodus TCG. If you guys have any questions about this card game, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer it for you. No question is stupid in my book. If you have any questions about this trading card game, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm a very nice person. I will not get mad. And anyway, the Exodus trading card game, as far as sleeves go, you need to get the sleeves for Pokemon and Magic. Those are the sleeves you need if you want to get into this TCG. So if you want to get into this TCG, please get the sleeves for Pokemon. Please get the sleeves for Yu-Gi-Oh! That's the size sleeves that they use. Just to let you guys know about that there. But like I said before, there will be a third video to this of me talking about like the different mechanics in the game and how they work, because some of them can be very complicated. And I definitely want to make a whole separate video about that because I don't want to make this video terribly long. Well, yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And let me know what you guys think about the Exodus trading card game. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And like I said before, if you guys have any questions about this card game, please don't hesitate to ask, and I'll be more than happy to answer it for you. I definitely want to do deck profiles of the Exodus trading card game when I can. I'm kind of busy, but we'll see. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, bye.